Why should we take the time to talk about winning in this set of client-centric business development videos? Because in the world of client-centric business development, the reality is that we are trying to do things differently. Bottom line is that if we're going to do this over the long haul, if we're going to do it in a way that's sustainable and enjoyable and fun for us, we got to figure out ways to be able to take our clients and our prospective clients and remove them from the playing field that everybody else is playing on. And this is one fantastic way to be able to do that. Well, obviously in our business, the idea is we like to win. We like to do what it takes to be positioned to win, whether it's in the adversarial context where you're going to win the battle, or if it's setting things up so that the client is positioned to win at every juncture along the way in their professional life, right? It's all about winning. But you know, the truth of the matter is that for everyone else that you're competing with, the win is really about for whom? Them. It's a self-centered notion. It's how do I win? How do I build my practice? How do I make more money? How do I get more clients? It's all about me, right? But in client-centric business development, as is so often the case in things that are good and things that are successful, there's a little bit of a paradox. You see, the paradox is I have to bring me last. If I come up behind, if I am the servant to all of this stuff, if I serve the client, I serve their organization, I serve the end user of whatever it is the client does, then I win too. And so what that means for client-centric business development in this context is I have to think first about the client. How do they define success? What do they say is going to be a winning proposition for them? If it's in an adversarial context, it's easy. You know, you walk out with a good result. Sometimes that good result is defined differently, but you can look at it and say, yeah, we did what we set out to do or not. But how do you say that when it's not in an adversarial context? Well, first of all, every person has their own set of objectives about what they're trying to accomplish in business. Sometimes it means that they want the boss to be happy with them. Sometimes it means that they need to get along better with their cohorts. I have coached somebody who, in fact, the whole problem was that she was doing a great job of succeeding in what she had been hired to do, but she was leaving a lot of bleached bones on the side of the road in the process. For her, it was how to win as she'd been told to win, and at the same time, how to do it without leaving quite so many casualties en route. So there is the one, there's the person. How do they consider this to be a win for themselves? How is it going to be a best possible result for them? And then secondly, of course, let's think about the same thing at an organizational level. How's the organization going to view this thing coming out the way that they want it to come out? Sometimes that's a difficult and careful calculus between the outcome and the cost to achieve it. That's where you come in. That's where you can pay attention to them, talk to them, ask them the right questions, listen to the answers, and figure out what the win is for the organization and the win for the individuals in that organization. The third one is the end user of the organization's talent, skills, product, whatever it is that they're producing. You see, whoever we are working for ultimately has someone else that this is being done for as well. Think about it, even in the case of estate planning, certainly you're creating peace of mind for the couple who's getting the will drafted or the trust, but ultimately aren't we also working for them to create the results they want, not only for themselves, but also for the next generation? The end user, if you will. And you see, in every case, we want to be looking that far out from a client-centric perspective to help the individuals win inside the organization, which can win at the business of doing what it does so that those who partake of it win as well. The end user wins, the organization wins, the individual with whom you work wins, and then, and only then, you can look at it and say, I and my business get to win as well. Do you see how this is almost on its head from everything else that your competition does? You see, they go into it saying this, what's in it for me? Where's the file? For me. Where's the deal? For me. What fee will I get? And in the client-centric world, those things happen, but they happen in right proportion and in right order. Client, organization, end user, and then me and my organization. And you see, if we do it that way, what happens is that we all win. So really what we're talking about is servant leadership. Really what we're talking about is winning by assisting everyone else in doing that first. What we're talking about is making certain that the individuals, their organizations, and their end users get where they want to go. We all partake in the winning, but it happens because we were willing to put the client first and to serve the client in a way that they can truly win.